Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... Oh, hang on.
What a brilliant start.
What a great start.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the Pint of You podcast with me, your host, Connor String, and of course, my right-hand man, always seated to my left, it's Mr. Sam Studd.
How you doing, Connor?
Our guest today, up-and-coming YouTuber. He just happens to go to BU. It's Mr. Anthony Savva.
Hello.
You feel privileged to be here, Ant, do you? You're the first ever guest on...
I feel like there's a lot of pressure going on as you're cracking that open.
All over.
What a great start. But yeah, it's pretty odd. But I'm excited.
It's quite good to talk about a few things because we've done the test podcast yesterday and we kind of touched on a variety of topics, and we thought about having you on and talking about the issue of monetization and demonetization in YouTube at the moment and the whole scandal around like Logan Paul.
Thank God I do advertising.
Yeah, I know, exactly. This is the man we need to talk about. But let's talk about Logan Paul for starters. He's making the news. We just literally watched the news on the TV. YouTube have finally decided. They came out and said that we're going to cut ties, but we're not cut ties.
Yeah,
they're going to
dropping him off certain things.
Yeah, they're going to just fuck us up, life up. They're going to fuck us up, life up a little bit, didn't they? So they cut him from the
YouTube Red things he's involved with.
Yeah, which he has a.
So he has a series on YouTube Red, and as far as I could tell, I mean, don't take my word for it because everything gets all these fake news and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically YouTube just don't want him on the platform as of anymore. It's bad for advertisers.
Okay.
So what I've learned is basically how they just want to cut ties with anyone that's as they become more mainstream, they're more under pressure from traditional platforms. So again, like a lot of articles in America and stuff like that when PewDiePie came out, and then they turned it on him and they cut all the series of him. So there's been a lot of pressure on YouTube to kind of
do something about it.
Do something about it, because at the moment all the creators have all this freedom, and it's good at some points because some of the content being produced is amazing. I personally don't watch Logan Paul. I think he's a bit of a twat. Both of the brothers,
Jake Paul, big up.
So yeah, but they've got no freedom, and I feel like over the next couple of years, because of advertising and stuff like that, there's going to be a lot more restraints coming in.
Yeah.
There's been rumours of it. So.
Well, for people that don't know, the people watching and listening at home, Logan Paul went into he's on a trip to Japan. He went into the suicide forest, and lo and behold, shock.
He saw a dead body.
He did find a dead body.
No way.
Absolute shocker there to everybody watching. Found a dead body, but then perhaps done the wrong thing to do. Instead of dropping the cameras and proceeding to, I don't know, alert the authorities or do something about it, he decided to film the dead body. Got up close, you could see the poor man's hands. They got on purplist and stuff. Did you watch it, Sam? Did you see the video?
I didn't actually see. I saw one of the re-uploads of the videos. I was late to it.
Which is jokes about it.
Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, I saw it because it's the fact that what people are angry about, especially YouTubers themselves, is the fact that YouTube didn't act on it.
Yeah, and they didn't.
It was up the whole night. The whole night it was up.
And the re-uploads, as you said, Connor, they were on like the trending page for a decent period of time.
Even though he said he was donating all the money to charity, the fact is he brought in a lot of publicity to his channel. It was 8 million overnight.
That's
crazy. That's overnight. And like the whole point is, YouTube didn't notice this.
Yeah.
Somehow through that it slipped through their system, and it generally has affected them as well.
And then apparently it went up for a manual review as well. So there's somebody like YouTube has sat down, watched that video, and went, yeah, it's alright.
Give them their due. YouTube now. I mean, they apologised on Twitter and said sorry for the delay. I think they handled it in a good
international platform for an apology.
They've handled it in a good way, but it's just too late. The damage is done.
It's made them look bad, as bad as Logan Paul's come out of it. It's made YouTube look a bit bad, I feel.
Yeah.
If you put it this way, like YouTubers in general, so 2 months ago when I'm a Celebrity, bringing it to the UK as well with Jack Maynard.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's all the traditional media. All they're doing is trying to push YouTube out of the way. They're threatened by it. So any chance they're going to get, they're going to take it.
Yeah.
Jack Maynard got wrongly accused.
Well, we're going to touch on this for a second. Do you think, Logan Paul's actions were wrong? That's the bottom line. Probably shouldn't have stuck a dead body anywhere near in that video. And bear in mind, the majority of his demographic is young, 8 to 10 year olds, whatever it is.
Young kids.
Yeah, so probably not the best thing for them to be looking at that young age. But with regards to Jack Maynard, I think Jack Maynard was quite, wrongly done by.
Oh yeah.
It kind of begs that question, should you be held responsible for the tweets and stuff you done?
I think you should always be held responsible for what you've done. I think what he did do was wrong, but I feel like he was wrongly evicted. I mean, they even pulled out tweets about Amir Khan saying the wrongful tweets. He didn't get kicked out. And the whole situation, the whole stigma around this is like, oh, if you're YouTube, you can't have a career. Like, it's not a real job. And I mean, I know when I've done it or whatever, it's you work, because I do it as a hobby, but people do it as a full-time job, and they're working, there's no set hours. You don't do a 9-hour shift and go home.
Yeah, you just do them.
You're doing it constantly. It's always on your mind, and that was one of the reasons I stopped it for a year, like 3 years or 4 years. I couldn't, there was nights where I couldn't sleep because I was too busy thinking of ideas in my head. So again, like, there's so much pressure onto YouTube, and like all these youngsters just showing their creativity, and it's incredible. But as I said, Jack was wrongly accused of what he did, and I feel like he was treated worse because of this platform.
Yeah, I also think TV a bit threatened by YouTube, because the amount of views YouTubers get compared to some TV shows
in
is
comparison
so much bigger. So you know, they're threatened by the fact that a lot of TV viewership is going down.
Put this to effect. So okay, at Britain's Got Talent grand final, I was just looking at one of my essays. 14 million. My man
been studying.
I've been studying.
Done some research for the podcast. I love it.
Anyway, I always do. 14 million viewers. That's top of all time.
Yeah.
In one day, Logan Paul could beat that.
Yeah, exactly.
One day.
That's crazy. Yeah, when you think about that, a full TV series, you think the money that goes into a TV series, and that whole final.
Logan Paul switches the camera on.
And it's one person, Logan Paul.
All right, he's set up what's cost top 10,000.
Yeah.
The guy is making so much money, and
I mean, he's supposed to be making $800,000 a month. But then there were calls to take down his channel, which I think is wrong, because you mentioned about it being a job. You know, this is the man's job. I understand cutting ties,
but hold on, because if you do something wrong at a job, you get fired.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's true.
And it's true. Like, he did something which was, I think it was the most stupidest thing ever. How did you go through all of that and not? Because he has a team, Team 10 or whatever they're called.
Well, he's not.
I think he has Jake Paul, isn't it? If I'm right.
My man's a Jake Paul
Berk behind the camera knows more about this.
You're a little Jake Paul fanboy.
So the thing is, there was 4 or 5 people there. Not one of them must have said, "Look, do you think this is a bit step too far?"
A bit wrong.
Especially when they're sitting there cracking jokes to the victim who's sitting there dead next to him.
And the fact that he said he didn't know what he was doing when he has to go through, editing the video, creating the thumbnail, all this stuff.
Which I thought that, if you watch the start of that video, he's almost slightly boastful. He's like, "This has never been done on you."
Yeah, he knows what's
for
coming.
A fucking reason, chap. There's no
Like, okay, so I watch. I'm not sure you guys know Tom Syndicate is. He's one of the biggest UK YouTubers. I watch him every day as a massive into you. I am, no doubt. But like, he went into that forest. I think it was 2 months before, and he went into it, recorded himself. He didn't find anyone. Yeah. But he goes, if I found anyone, I wouldn't show them.
Of course.
Like, he would just put the camera away and then call the authorities. That's the right thing to do. Anyone that had an inch of common sense would have done that. He literally saw the money. That was the problem. What a YouTube is, it's now to a point where it's not about the creativity anymore. It's about how much of a clickbait title can you get.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Now that's the bit where it's gone too far, when you included a dead body in your video.
Yeah. And when you ever making your videos, do you ever think, is that go through your mind about what thumbnail's going to make the best views?
So, one of my friends and girls, Connor's a fan of him. His name's Arif. He's
big F1 YouTuber.
Yeah, he's probably like 200,000 subs. Yeah. And he told me all this about how the thumbnail. So you can create, because he's a really good graphic designer. He creates like really nice thumbnails, but he also creates one which is like really clickbaity. And the difference in views, I talked to Connor about this. It's about 20,000 views different. 20,000 for a person who has 200k.
Can you imagine what the difference is that for Logan Paul?
Times that for Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube in that sense is very broken.
Yeah.
But then I guess on the flip side, you see people like KSI who took a break from YouTube, came back, and almost
that was a marketing stunt.
It was, I would say, yeah.
I've seen it from a mile off.
When he's came back and he kind of just is doing the things he wants to do, you could argue, rather than clickbait stuff.
Punch people in the face.
Yeah, and you can argue that because I mean PewDiePie he was kind of, we'll say he was the kind of first person to be on the subject of YouTube's wrath, and a lot of criticism when he came out. He used the N-word, didn't he? And
Disney dropped him, was it?
Disney dropped him for the Nazi stuff,
which was
that was prior to the N-word being used.
That man had a rough 2017.
He did. He had But the thing is, I think PewDiePie is one of the most honest people on the platform because he's got no ties with anyone.
Yeah, he
literally says it as it is.
Yeah. And that's what he said. And he said that, after he had that, because he was removed, like Logan Paul has been today, from the premium advertiser part of Google, which allows you to get.
To be fair, what is YouTube Red? Who actually has it?
I'm not sure. When you think about it, it's quite surprising because you'd think that the amount of viewership that Logan Paul perhaps would bring to YouTube Red, to cut him from that, is that, I don't know,
I mean, it gets to that point where if Logan Paul's still on there, he's bad for a brand. He's not any chance of Logan Paul's going to get with brand is gone. Disney, whoa. It's like a kid's.
Although his views on that and his subscribers have actually gone up.
Yeah,
but then he's not making half the money.
No, exactly.
It's one of those situations where if you go it alone, like what PewDiePie is doing, it could work out. But I mean, if you see PewDiePie, his growth has not been incredible. I mean, there was a stage where he was gaining so much, and then the Logan brothers, like. Was it Logan? Or
Logan
Paul
and Jay.
brothers.
Yeah, Paul brothers, sorry. This is how much I don't watch them.
Logan 1, Logan 2.
Yeah. They're both just idiots, but like their immediate growth, no one's ever seen any growth like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
to the stage where they did.
You're a Logan Paul fanboy. Was it 15 million a year?
Yeah, so 15.4.
Well, Con, I know you watched him.
Yeah, and I'll put my hands up and I'll say I did watch him.
So my question to you is: are you still going to watch him if he creates more videos?
The problem is Logan Paul uploaded daily for 400 and something days, 300, 15 million views. He was one of the fastest people ever reached 10 million subscribers. He's then took this break, so he hasn't uploaded in the last four days since his apology video, which is bait as well, by the way. Of course I'm gonna watch. I think everybody's gonna be all eyes on this next video.
He just went like that and damped his eyes.
A little bit.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like he knew the consequences when he uploaded that.
Of course.
If he did not know, my question to you guys is, who's you two both watched him?
Yeah.
What was your reasons?
Beforehand?
No, just in general. Why did you click subscribe to him?
Because we mentioned this in our test podcast yesterday. Because we weren't Logan Paul. It's the fact that he's so obnoxious and like. Such a
you don't watch him as kind of like he's such a good role model, like,
I watch him because it's like what the fuck are you doing?
Like a character almost.
But the problem with that is anyone can sign up to YouTube. You don't have to be a certain age to sign up to YouTube. So people who are like 10, 11, they watch this guy and then they think he is a role model.
Of course, and mentioned
that's the problem that's happening.
Yeah, and there was some of his fans would come out at the time that when Logan was getting his most criticism, they were saying things like talking to the dead body, being like, that man was lucky to be in his vlogs. I would love to be in Logan's vlogs and all this stuff, like ridiculous stuff. And don't get me wrong, it's outrageous, but at the end of the day, it hasn't affected his core viewership. He's not losing that much. You think about it in terms of revenue. If anything, he's gaining.
So that's why he did it. That's where he's done it. There's no other reason as to why you would upload a video. Sorry, that's even worse. A video of him sitting there, cracking jokes in front of a body.
Yeah,
that body had that person had families.
Yeah,
and the fact is, how could you be that inhuman to do something so bad and catastrophic like that?
I think regardless, everybody's going to be all eyes on his next.
On the video, he wasn't alone, was he?
No.
And also the other people were laughing at the body as well.
Oh, I'm not saying it's totally him. As a group, they should have just said, "What the fuck."
Yeah, stop it.
What the fuck?
I know.
What are we doing?
My first reaction was like, "Oh." I think, okay, right. Let's just.
I'll be, a bit creeped out by just seeing.
I will literally be traumatized. The fact is that they have that in their mind to go and just sit there and crack jokes is so weird.
I think, okay, let's give them benefit of the doubt. You film everything, just even. But the fact that you went out of his head to make that thumbnail, to publish it, could you imagine him aligning...
Because the thumbnail was so clickbait as well. It wasn't as even as if it was... Could you imagine
him... No, but this is fact. He would have to stand there, align the shot with the dead body and his being like, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the left. Do you know what I mean? It would just be jokes.
To the right.
Could you imagine that with a dead person?
Was he in there like wearing like stupid hat and all this stuff? Like, do you know what I mean? It was so...
It's the bloody hat. It's same colour as that.
Yeah, the microphone.
Yeah.
So
that is Logan Paul right there.
That's so funny. That was funny. Cue the edit. You can put that on there. Yeah. It is crazy, isn't it? So Logan Paul taking a little bit about it. But let's talk about your YouTube channel and we'll talk about, what's it like in terms of being on that platform, making content and, being consciously aware of what it's like to be a creator.
When you told me to come on, I thought I need to think of ideas of what to say. Because when I was doing it, when I was younger, it was probably about like year 8, probably like year 9, year 10. And you only ever did it like you picked up a camera, but because I was majority gaming, that's what I love.
Yeah.
And you put a camera to a screen, and like that was acceptable back then. Back then you could do it, and I met a load of people and this and the other, but it was seen so negatively, especially at secondary school.
You get judged for it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not saying I got judged. Like people would play my videos out. What?
Literally, like the same thing happened to me. Like I
This is Berk, everyone.
Like,
Tech editor.
Yeah, like I started YouTube. I started doing YouTube at in secondary school as well, and I told a friend about it, and he looked at videos, and like he just told everyone else, and then like people just play my videos.
But do you think that that's because in second year, maybe perhaps a lot more immature, people are jealous of your success?
Second year, people, they don't like difference, and as a group.
Yeah.
The fact is, even my friends did it, and like it was a point where like you're like, oh yeah, it's jokes, but deep down it hurt me, and it was to a point where like it was constant, and I just went, I can't do it.
Yeah, you stopped it.
I quit.
Mm-hmm.
And like I spent 2-3 years out of the platform, but every like week I was like,
you think about videos, you think about making videos, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm always thinking that next big idea. Like I'm that I've just got that creative mind where I can't not do something. So when I chose to come back, like at the moment my videos aren't doing well, which is annoying. I've got plans to try and improve that.
The podcast can change that, fam. We're gonna get that massive.
All of our loving fans.
Watch out, Logan Paul.
Yeah, mad viewership. You're gonna blow up.
Yeah, but like as I said, like I understand YouTube as a business as well. I feel like if I could do it properly, then you could probably see me grow a bit more. But like I met people who were at the same. I mean, Ara, for example, was at the same level as me when I was doing it. And he's gone on to be like 200,000 subs, sitting in an F1 car at Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So it's one of those, if I carried on, maybe it would have been totally different for me. I mean, I don't regret the choices I made to quit, because then this got me onto the course that I wanted. And through YouTube, I picked media, and then from media, I picked advertising. And like honestly say, like it's probably the best choice I've done. And to kind of incorporate it back into my life, YouTube. It's better now than it was previous.
Yeah.
Would you want to do YouTube, you know, as many do, as a full-time job, or would you?
There's no doubt.
You would. Yeah.
If you could now, like, not pack aside university. If you could pack aside university without knowing that you'd lose the place on your course forever and what have you, would you pursue YouTube full-time? And do you think would you still stick with F1, knowing that perhaps it's such a niche subject that it's a limited viewership, or would you go towards like what's trending? Or
I would never do what's trending. I would always be me. If I did have the ultimate audience, I probably would do what we're doing now.
Yeah, just podcasting.
I'm one of those people where I could talk shit. This is why I'm doing advertising.
That's why me and him are
doing a podcast. Yeah,
exactly. I just want to talk shit.
Yeah.
But I like being creative, and I like being creative in F1.
Yeah.
Because it was my passion. I've watched it since I was a kid.
Of course.
So it's like all my personality has come together, and I would not be the person I used to be when I was in year 8. I used to be the shyest person. No one used to know me. I did YouTube, met these people, and like it's to a point where I could go to like TED Talks. That's always one of my goals.
Yeah.
I want to do TED Talks. Like I could sit there and I wouldn't even be nervous. And that's like the kind of thing, like people say, like that's what benefited me from YouTube. I did it. I got confident. It's not me being like, look, I'm a cocky.
Yeah, I want to do this.
I'm not cocky. Even if I go out on do presenting, I am absolutely shitting myself, but I do it because I know I can do it, and like, that's what YouTube did. And like anyone who's listening who wants to do it, just fuck it.
Just do it.
Don't forget what people think of you, because now all the people that took the piss out of me, they now like respect it, because now it's a platform where you can make a living.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen how
people express themselves on it.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah.
We see how popular it's become.
You know that Theo Baker, he used to go to Bournemouth University. Yeah. He's got like 500,000 subscribers now.
Yeah, Theo used
Did
to.
he really?
Used to live in Dorchester.
Really?
I claimed of him. I slept in his bed. I beg your pardon. That's what?
Anything for views. I was
the
desperate back in the time.
So he quit his course
and to pursue YouTube full time.
Yeah.
500,000 already, I think.
What was it like, the transition between going from making YouTube videos from secondary school to become more open to the idea that you're a creator on this platform, as YouTube perhaps became more popular as you went on?
it's hard to explain. Well, like as I said, when I was doing it back in the day, because it wasn't a known platform, like, well, it was known, YouTube was known, but it was never taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And like the fact is, when you're like, it's funny, you're recording, you're talking to yourself, that's funny. But like over time, it's just become the norm. People have Snapchat, they're Snapchatting themselves, and the whole like stigma about it has kind of set aside a bit. I feel like I've matured since doing it the first time.
You're giving a little bit of knowledge as to
how to
go about it.
I'm not this knowledgeable person. I'm far from it.
No, of course.
But definitely by coming to uni, I've matured and like living by yourself and doing stuff for yourself. And then I just thought, like, sod it, I need to do something. Yeah. I need to do something that stands me out from the crowd. And this was my way of doing it. So I don't necessarily see my channel. I don't care about the views. Like, you know, my views hardly get anything, but the point is I do it because I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like a hobby that
exactly,
like, and that's what I enjoy. Like people play football or other sports.
I mean, I guess we can relate to this because when we started trying to do this, we were like, you know what, this could be a giant flop. But we just enjoy doing it.
KSI didn't start off with 15 million subscribers.
Yeah, exactly.
He started off by saying all the stupid crap that he used to say was funny, and he was entertaining. People liked that. Look at him now.
And through that, like, obviously his rap career, which is debatable whether he's a good rapper.
Rapping.
But but it's true. But it shows you the kind of different revenue streams that you can go into as a creator on YouTube.
My point is, once he's gone through, you know, the YouTube kind of gaining all the subscribers, it's just allowed him to do what he, you know, loves doing, which is rapping.
Finding yourself, quote unquote. And then
can't wait for Ant's next video. Will be finding myself on the Point of View podcast. Can you
I just say coming out, mate? Watch out, Logan Paul.
Just a big closet as well.
Yeah. It just means it's a question mark.
Popping, popping out of the door.
No, that was not a homophobic.
Like, you know, you say you create content just as a hobby, but is it ever in the back of your mind? What about the views? Like,
yeah. So, do you create content for views, or do you think create?
No
content?
doubt. I mean, there's a series that I'm doing where I get it's much like this situation where I get YouTubers on, and I'm doing it just to get exposure.
Of course.
But like they're my friends, so it's like just much like this, a sit down talk about everything. And I wouldn't interview someone if I didn't. Is everything okay?
No, everything's
I wouldn't. What's going on?
I tell you.
I wouldn't like interview someone if I didn't know who they were and I didn't want to work with them.
Yeah.
And it's a lot like that with collaborations. The one thing is you shouldn't collaborate with someone just for the views. You should collaborate with them because
you enjoy it.
Together.
Yeah, you enjoy working with them.
I mean, again, I always say, but Arav was one of them. He said, I only work with 2 people. Like, so basically, all right, let me reiterate this. There was, because I'm going way off track. So there was 4 of us back in the day. So it was
for those that don't know, these are F1 YouTubers that you can find on YouTube. And started off doing F1 YouTube. Yeah.
So it started off with Callum, Tom, Arav, and me. There was 4 of us, and I eventually just went off somewhere for a couple of years. Don't know where.
Went to uni.
Here and there. Yeah.
Had a good time. Drank a lot.
And then 3 have stuck together and like become like the 3, and like Arav got the platform. He grew it, and then he grew them, but not because he had to. He felt like he had to, but because they worked together, because they wanted to work together. Yeah. And that's it. What I'm trying to say is that's the only reason I would work with someone. It's just because of that reason.
Yeah, alongside them rather than actually doing it for the sake of like you're piggybacking them or he's piggybacking you.
And that's why I feel like YouTube changed a lot. When I used to do it, it used to be like get the biggest person on just to get you exposure. Now it's changed. Everything is constantly changing. From a year from now, it'll be completely different from the year previous.
Yeah.
Like, stuff changes. Exactly,
and the way, you know, we're bringing it back to this Logan Paul scenario and the way that YouTube have finally reviewed his situation, and we see, you know, it's of no surprise that creators, they abuse and they expose clickbait and whatever, they use it left, right, and center to get the views. I mean, because at the end of the day, that's how they make money. So I can understand people going ahead and using it, but you know, for the likes of what he done, perhaps that's far too far.
I mean, are there any huge YouTubers that don't clickbait?
Yeah.
No, but that cracked voice was pretty dramatic. It's okay, man. It happens to the best of us. Trust me, you don't know how many times I recorded and go, hello! That's it. A 20-minute commentary, gone.
You start off well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what are you saying? Every you're going to have to do it. I think that's how you get... Yeah.
Everyone takes risks. Everyone does. Sometimes it backfire. I mean, that really backfired for his case. But I just think it's just error in judgment what he's done.
Do you think there's any way back, realistically? You look at PewDiePie, you look where he is now. Yeah?
He's only done better from it. This is the problem. Like, there's no, like, regulations to any of this. He's only going to come back and do something different, and everyone's going to follow. Because they want to see what he does next.
Yeah, exactly. The next video he makes, he'll be like, oh, Logan Paul's re-uploaded again.
And you can bet it'll be on BBC, like we've just watched at the 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock news.
He's actually gained exposure, not just from YouTube, from, mainstream media now.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And once you reach corporate media, then you're blowing up.
Exactly, yeah, so...
Well, Jack Maynard did that, didn't last long, so...
Yeah, that's
true, yeah. But then he wasn't as... You couldn't say he's as big as Logan Paul on YouTube, so...
This is what annoys me about Conor Maynard. Like, as a person, I don't like him. I like the group he's in, but he's...
YouTube beef here, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Point of View podcast.
Diss track coming.
I can't wait for him to throw me a diss track.
YouTube beef.
Best exposure I can get.
No,
but the thing is, it's like, he went on it and said, you could say I'm like a YouTube sensation, and he came across like really cocky. Really cocky. And then people look at that. I mean, I looked at it, I was like, well, you're a twat. You're a twat. Like,
I was there.
But it's like, why did Diamond Celebrity, for the first one, they went to him? He's not a YouTube sensation. If you're going to get someone famous, get Zoella. Well, like, into the general media. Her and Alfie are like, literally, so why do you get them? It was a daft...
But maybe
because the majority of, you could say, A-list celebrities would never go on.
I'm a celebrity.
Yeah,
and true, but
where do YouTubers come in A-list?
No, okay, but A-list on YouTube,
that's
maybe.
a question to ask, though. Where are they celebrities? Would you count?
I mean, Zoella, someone like Zoella.
Absolutely,
yeah,
even with Logan Paul. I mean,
KSI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the fan base they have, there's no way that you wouldn't say they're not. And the amount of money they're making and the exposure they're making.
Don't see that. They don't accept. YouTube is a thing.
You say that now, but with Logan Paul being, he's on the BBC, the mainstream media. He's everywhere. He's on CNN. He's blowing up.
He's only on it for a negative reason.
But I know, but you say that.
When have you ever heard a YouTuber be on for a good reason?
But is it the fact that he's on it for a negative reason, and that's the whole point of, being cynical of YouTuber, is because he's famous, and that's because they want to make an example out of him. Because if he wasn't famous, then what's the point of being like, I don't know, Arav from the middle of London has they wouldn't care. It's because he's got 15 million subscribers, and it's arguably because he's famous that they use him as an example. They
do it because then they get clicks.
Exactly.
On their BBC get clicks.
It's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's a vicious circle, isn't it? Really.
You gotta just try and just stay relevant and stay and keep up with what's trending. A bit of a vicious circle, folks. Here.
Definitely.
Mind blown.
But it's definitely a weird situation.
Yeah.
What
are you laughing about?
Yeah, that's good.
We're ladies and gentlemen, for those at home, we're not too sure if the camera is definitely going to work, but is it working?
It is working.
Oh right, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I do want to come back on the show.
Do you like it? Do you?
Got it here, yeah.
You quite like this little setup, innit?
Yeah, it's
got a little studio.
Quite comfy little seat.
Comfy little seat. Stud did nick your seat, by the way. He was like, "Fuck, I
have to admit."
He was like, "I'm having a."
If I had a GTM Mega partnership, I'd bring that in. Get a discount code.
Yeah, and Sava for 20% off.
Yeah, I'm not big enough for that. So. Huh?
When are we collabing together?
Oh, I don't know, mate. When do you want to collab?
It's collab central. Oh my god!
I'll create connections left, right,
This is it.
Wow.
This is it. He comes on the Point of View. He steals my tech head out. He's getting collabs left, right, and centre. I'm not happy about this.
You watch your camera. That's great. Mate.
It's gonna be nicked. It'll be doing some public interviews in the next 2 days with Mr. Ant Sava and my tech.
As I said though, YouTube's just changed so much. It's now accepted.
Yeah.
But that's again. I wish it was like that when I started, but it just wasn't. It's quite annoying. But anyone who just wants to start YouTube, just do it.
Is it a lot harder to do now that you're at uni in terms of deadlines and stuff?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been planning series for months and I've not been able to do it. And every time I go to do it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I've just done like a 5,000 word essay, and it only gets harder when you go through the years.
I guess that's why a lot of YouTubers dropped out of uni to pursue, because it's just
I've had points where I'm pretty sure we all had it, where you literally break down. You've got so much work, you don't know what to do, and it's just ridiculous. Especially this year has been a lot harder, just with general, and then because I want to do YouTube, and then I've got that pressure. I'm thinking, oh, I need to make a video. I need to think of an idea, and I can't think of an idea because I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and then. Yeah, again, trying to find something is trying to do everything. You don't have enough time in a day.
Yeah, to do everything, to record and edit. And that's something that people don't understand. It's great to have you on and discuss this. You know, the process of recording, editing, publishing, all that. You know, how long does that... I don't know, but like generally, your average career mode video for
because
people,
as a YouTuber, you're doing that by yourself.
Exactly. And
whereas, you know, a TV show has specific.
You know, we've got Berk, for example,
Yeah.
which is brilliant. We're using them for the for the tech. But for the people that, you know, that your average career mode video, we will link, of course, your channel in the description. We will let you plug like mad at the end.
Jesus.
For how long does that take in terms of recording, publishing, and to when it goes live?
So depending on the series I'm working on at the moment, again plug in. So a 50% race would take about 50 to 55 minutes, probably like over 2 hours because I'm really slow. But anyway, then you do that, but then it depends which road you want to go down. Do you want to go down bulk uploading it? So that means you just pump out as much content you want, which will get you more views, but not necessarily. I'd done that for a season. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I wanted to do something that was highly edited and like
quality content over quantity.
So then you had to get the replay cameras, and that's another 50 minutes, and that's just recorded. So you've nearly wasted like 2 hours, and you haven't even put it into your editing software. Put it into editing software, you're like, shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
So then you got to think of cutting it down. Cutting it down takes a good hour and a bit. Then you got to think of music. What music should I use? Because again, you know, do journalism or I've done media, music, different promotions, different
exactly, copyright strikes and
yeah. So you got to do the music. That takes a good hour. So you something that's a 40 or say a half an hour video
could turn
will take
into
2 to 3 days of non-stop. And to think you try to do that while trying to do a uni course, and you can understand why I can't necessarily
keep it up.
I mean, my last upload was in December before Christmas, and I can't. That's the only reason I uploaded that was because I bulked uploaded it.
Yeah,
I scheduled it. So that's the problem. It's trying to find the time, and like that's what you said. People drop out of uni because they can't
and focus on
basically do it. They can't focus on one thing.
Has it ever crossed your mind? Have you ever thought about dropping out, or do you think marketing and the course that you're at is where you're at? You want to keep on doing that?
I'm not a choice. I think I had a choice. I got 2 unconditional offers for Bournemouth University. One was in media production.
Snap, brother.
I know, that was terrible. You saw that. I witnessed that. But one was media production, one was advertising. And then I thought, oh, mate, this advertising course, it seems sick. Yeah. You know, I've seen Mad Men. That's pretty mental.
One man.
And I was just like, I got to do it. I took the risk, did it, and like it was just everything is so insightful. Like my lecturers, they're all doctors of the trade, and this is, I'm not sure people are aware of this, and it kind of annoys me because it's a top university for advertising in the world.
Blow and smoke up the BU.
Mate, in the world though.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's
I didn't know that until he mentioned that earlier.
But that's impressive.
It's just, like, you would know that. And it's like we've got people who are like, yeah, as I said, doctors in advertising, and like these people who've experienced that, all of that. And for me, like, it's one of those where, yeah, I'm passionate about YouTube, but like advertising's more my thing. I don't ever see YouTube being
a career.
Yeah.
You think advertising?
I think it's just going to help me build who I am as a brand.
You're going to be that guy that putting his adverts on the people's YouTube. What if you put your own advert on your own?
Mate, imagine that. Could you imagine?
It's Ant Savaception. It'd be like, yeah, but first this advert from Ant for Cadbury's chocolates before a 50% race around Barcelona.
Mate, I get ad revenue after ad revenue.
Yeah, you just bigging yourself up. Could you imagine that?
That is mental. But it's like, it's one of those, like, I've been, because of YouTube, I'm now here where I am, and this is what people understand. It's like a ladder. And again, I'm only 19 years old.
Yeah,
and like,
but it's all experience, you know.
The experience I've learned from like doing YouTube has just helped me so much in advertising as well. A lot of people are like, how do you know that? It's because I've done it.
Yeah,
I've experienced it firsthand, and I know all the stuff that some people just don't understand, because you have to see yourself as a business to do well on YouTube. Like, just simple as that, you need to market yourself right, and that's where like I've got that knowledge and I've applied it now to advertising, and I'm actually doing all right. So again, that's
knowledge.
Knowledge
is key, man.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge. You heard it here first, guys. In the point of view, the key to success and successing YouTube and any uni degree is knowledge. Straight up, get him on the podcast to talk about what YouTube and F1. It's just inspiring a generation, bro. Straight up, just going off.
How long we got left?
Yeah, as long as you want, bro.
Yeah.
We just chill.
Stay here all night.
Yeah. The point of view podcast.
We haven't got enough beers.
I know. I wish. Tech boy, you want to do a beer run? No.
Head over to Dylan's.
Yeah.
Get a
2
couple of
points.
Yeah.
Shout out to Student Shop, cost you a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Tesco's finest, mate.
Like,
Tesco's
when
finest.
when I started doing videos, like because of editing softwares, I just got good at them.
That's true.
That's
yeah.
That's why I'm
See,
doing it
one
now.
thing-
It's just like made me like very knowledgeable of like Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, Photoshop. Like
So for
Mate,
those
I've
that,
used all the crack versions. I understand because I can't afford to spend 900 quid on editing software.
yeah.
But one thing I would say, like I started out at Sony Vegas. When I was at the time, Sony Vegas was like the industry one. It's kind of not anymore, as far as I'm aware. I don't know
It's
too
more,
much.
yeah.
Final Cut, yeah.
Which,
But even when I went on to Final Cut and I just like I had it and I didn't click with it. I was like, I don't know. There's some bits to it I just don't like. And like I have a Mac now because when I used to do YouTube, I used
Pick
to
up the Rigs
I
boy with
know.
that backlight.
that was so
That's that straight up YouTube monetization
Yeah,
stack.
yeah. I've got a Mac now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I basically made it. Well, my dad's bought that for me. But we won't get into that.
Trust.
But like beforehand, I had a really bad computer, and then editing used to take forever. I used to render.
I was gonna say
alone
that's
on my old
yeah.
laptop used to take about 6 hours. That was without me even. That's the point.
Wow.
Have I internet?
He's just sitting there like, right, it's good. Get a cup of tea.
He's like, Mum,
wait for it.
put the kettle
I
on.
used to.
I'm gonna miss dinner tonight, Mum. Sorry.
I used to overnight render. Yeah, my laptop was completely gone by the time I
Does it make
literally.
that like a really loud noise, like it's just gonna explode or take off?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, like,
Just really
My mum and dad
hot.
were like, my mum and dad were like, "What the fuck's going on?" I was like, "Don't worry." But yeah, like it was mental. Like you had to be passionate about it, and that's the one thing I'd say I've got is the passion for doing it. Because why would you go and sit through 6 hours of watching your laptop literally die in front of you to upload a video which wouldn't get any views?
totally combusted.
But sod it, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
enjoy doing it.
So it's you need to have the passion to do.
And that's
so.
a lot of what people don't understand as well as I guess it's perhaps the money that goes into recording and making podcasts or making videos and what have you. I mean, we're quite lucky that we have obviously these facilities available to us. But I mean, if we didn't,
if we weren't university
and
students,
we had talked about that was getting mics and getting stuff so we could do it in different kind of
ridiculous.
scenery.
So
But
I mean, if you say if you wanted to do it from a different scenery,
Yeah.
not being in here, so that mic you have there is probably about £220.
that's not including the stand or
Not
Yeah.
including the stand. So because I was going to get this mic, £250 altogether for that,
that's one.
or even more.
Yeah.
Probably. And then you want that 3 times at least. Then you got to get a mix amp. That's going to cost you a good 60 quid. And then you got to get a laptop which runs it all because your normal conventional laptop. won't do
You
it.
need software to edit.
And then you're editing it.
And then you need
know
a
it,
camera if you're going to film it. Yeah, exactly.
And this is the.
and we got to pay Berk.
And we got God. No, sorry.
Wait, you pay him?
no. So it's
That's what he thinks.
99 cheeseburger every other Friday, mate. Keeps
Yeah,
him
yeah.
happy.
Keeps him happy. Keeps him shh.
Keeps it. He's buzzing. He's buzzing for
This at the moment.
He's buzzing for tomorrow because it's payday. It's Big Mac time.
Yeah.
Oi,
That's how we keep him sweet.
That's bad.
That's how you keep him sweet. You just feed him. That's what I'm saying. We're quite lucky to have people that obviously have knowledge of editing and in general, and we're like we talked about being at BU and stuff, is that we're quite lucky to have the resources and the networking that we have to get guests on. Because I know we've got you, and then we talked to
Cool,
Brad.
you really networked me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
yeah.
handed you over to my manager.
I
I got a text from you saying, "Do you want to come on and be the first guest?" I was
You were like, yeah.
"Fucking hell, exposure." Someone's interested.
Yeah, let's go exposure. Yeah, didn't bump into you in a nightclub or anything like that. We were just like, yeah, let's do
Of
it.
course not.
Yeah, but we got probably Brad coming on.
Big Brad.
For those of people that don't know, that he's a he worked for the BBC for digital storytelling. He's done a lot of work, and he's a kind of a big pioneer. For
Very
digital,
interesting guy.
Yeah, very interesting guy about digital storytelling and how that's kind of taken off. Olympian Chris Gregory said he'd come on and do that stuff, and that's just all because of the platform and being here and meeting people and getting to talk to people. So I think it's great. It's a good platform.
It's good,
Let you resource a little bit better and network a little bit better.
You do have a channel, don't you?
Well, yes, as of when this goes up, yes.
Yep.
How excited when this is going up?
When's it going up, Berk?
When are you
I
going to
know.
edit it, Bert?
Come to the mic so people can hear you, because I feel like people haven't heard you for the course of this.
He has a
Hi.
face. Oh.
When's this coming up?
Possibly on Friday nights.
We have an exam tomorrow. For those
we
of people that
haven't
know.
done it tonight, but we've got an exam tomorrow morning, so.
Committed student there.
This is student life, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, could you return to your seat, please? Thanks. It's enough
Why are
exposure.
you here? We don't pay you for nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't pay you that much. What
Good
time
old
is it? We need to get. We'll get kicked out of here. Nah, we got plenty of time.
How long
Plenty of
we
time.
got?
We got 15 minutes, folks.
Someone
Could-
books it afterwards.
I don't. It was free, but I don't know if they'd tell me off if I overbooked it.
If it's free, I mean,
That's free. Fuck it. If they join us, we'll just end it.
All right.
join the podcast.
Can't wait
Come on.
Can't wait to get a fine. My first ever attempt at a podcast. I got a fine for overuse of everything.
Ah, sod it. Student finance.
Let's do. Let's do it. Yeah. Big up. Yeah. So it's interesting just to hear from your point of view and to hear everything all things YouTube. And no, I will do what I want. How dare you, Mr. Tech Editor?
Look, this is my last time on here.
That's it. You've
It's
quit.
a vacancy.
Thing
He's been transferred over to the True Geordie. They want him.
Yeah. Doing his own YouTube.
Whoa. You have your phone on loud.
That's
What's
not.
going on?
No, it's not.
So I'm
me.
professional, Connor.
It's not me. Oh my god.
Who was that?
No, it was me. Awkward.
Oh
That
my
just backfired,
goodness.
didn't it?
Yeah.
Oops. Oh, it's Miriam.
Wait, question though. What do you guys think of Who is this?
He's been waiting on this email for the last 20 years. He's finally got it back.
It's not even the court one.
It's not even.
It's him that's waiting on the email. It's not me.
That's awful.
What were you saying?
What I want to know. What's your guys' perspective on YouTube? Joe, back in the day when we know Berk, but he's not actually on camera, so he's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Love you. You're the greatest.
Yeah, but
What was your opinion back in 5 years ago?
I remember back in like year 8, year 9, probably when I first started watching YouTube properly, like loads of people watching YouTube. And I can't say around school it was like a household kind of name, YouTube. Like not everyone kind of knew what it was. Obviously now, like if someone didn't know what YouTube was,
I think
pretty
watching,
surprised,
yeah,
so.
I think there was nothing wrong with watching YouTube, but like I'd always have banter with my mates being like, "Oh, did you see this vlog? Or did you see this?" Like,
yeah,
but the idea of somebody I knew doing YouTube would just
Yeah.
be like, "Ha, what are you
Mate,
doing?"
that's
Yeah.
jokes.
Isn't it? It's so true though. You tell me like, and you experienced that in secondary school because I bet like your mates were chilled. I bet you they were fans of YouTube, but then the minute you started doing YouTube, I reckon they were like, "What the fuck?"
Because they could grab on something.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
it. But now, like, it's weird because all them people like, mate, like your content's good, like you're doing all right.
Yeah, they're
Like,
supporting you.
we like watching you because like they don't see me, they see me now through the like YouTube.
They see me now through the money. Yeah.
Yeah, through that money.
that YouTube dollar.
Even when I used to monetize our videos, I used to get like $1 a month.
That's naughty.
That is naughty.
That's
That
that is Berk's 99p mayo chicken. I'll tell you that does wonders.
Hey, I got good Freddos out of that one.
Oh god.
But yeah, like it used to be so frowned upon.
Yeah,
And
compared to what it is now.
it's like I used to just be scared that people were gonna play it, and then like it made me feel really insecure about myself because I was like, well, is what I'm doing shit then? And like
Yeah,
that's
I get
what
it.
it does because you're like, oh, if people are taking a piss, then clearly it was shit.
I think instead of this is shit, we're probably just gonna take it on the chin.
Yeah, we'll just do what we want here on
You
the
do
point
what you
of view.
want, don't we? On the
Now
point
it's
of view.
accepted to be shit.
How was your
Yeah.
pint? And how was that pint of Bud?
Mate, you just got the cheapest.
I did
one.
get the cheapest one.
It's quite nice. I
It
thought.
was
It wasn't
nice.
too bad.
It's just a pity that we didn't have more.
If you got me Budweiser, like the one that's non-alcoholic, I would have been pissed off.
Get you some like cheap little like strawberry daiquiri,
Give me some case cider.
some case cider.
I'll be gone by the end of this podcast.
Man will be dead. Lying on the, we get the true YouTube beef.
Yep.
You don't like Conor Maynard, he just goes ham. It's just like every slabbers.
Oh yeah, I don't mind Connor.
Hey, Jack.
I've met Connor.
Oh really?
You met Conor Maynard? I'm a bit jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
Met him at Halo.
Low-key fanboy.
Really? He was at Halo.
He was at Halo last year. Halo
Wow.
is a nightclub in a church. Can I just say? I'm not sure if I'm.
No, it's literally yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
mad.
feel like people don't
When
understand.
you go, yeah, that's
They're like,
true.
Where's Halo?
It's genuinely in a church.
Yeah.
Which
my
is-
parents could believe that.
It's its primary use isn't even its primary use is for a nightclub.
It
It's
isn't even a
brilliant.
church
It's not even
anymore.
a
It's just
church
got-
anymore.
It's great.
It's the house of the sesh.
Is it? It was.
I pray to Kanye every time I go. in there.
Let me resurrect.
Is it
these
Phil
fresh
Mitchell?
beats.
Is it Phil Mitchell?
Phil
that's there
Mitchell,
too?
yeah. Phil
Yeah.
Mitchell's on his way down here as well. coming.
Weird.
Gigs was there.
Gigs.
Yeah,
we
Gigs was there. I was.
We were there for Tom Zanetti as well.
Mate,
That
I was
was-
trying to get you to come to gigs.
I
You
remember
didn't.
it. Yeah,
I had to sell my ticket.
I was lying in bed. So I was not having that.
Big Shack coming as well.
Yeah, Big Shack.
Big Shack.
He's coming. He's on
coming,
his way
yeah.
down as well. Yeah. What's that? What about? Bournemouth seems to get a lot of quite a good, decent little bit of PR and
they do.
PAs and public appearances from a lot of people.
Dappy is at Old Fire Station in March.
we kicked the first.
Dappy from N-Dubs.
Who?
Oh god.
Who? Sod end dubs, man.
The first 'cause we went to Lethal Bizzle, of course. That was
Lethal
the first-
Bizzle,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was sick as well. Yeah, so that's mad. Would you ever do a PA if you ever came big? And would you do public? It's like
Would I do
easy
rap
money.
battles at
It's
Halo?
just easy
Yes, I
money.
would.
Easy money.
I'm gonna go to Halo and just rap my days away.
It's mad,
Not
but
big enough.
but what people don't understand is that they're getting paid, and again, well, for example, we'll talk about the Love Island stars when, what do you call like, the one that Jess is getting engaged to,
Scott.
well, no, we'll look it up.
No, Alex.
Dom.
Alex broke up with Montana.
Mike?
Dom,
No.
well in tech editor, it's Dom. But when he was down here, we'll get. I'll actually search this
Well, when
up.
they were done here, they were selling mattresses.
I
So,
beg your pardon.
have you seen that?
What?
No.
You're
You've
selling
not seen it.
mattresses?
So
What?
basically, like when you leave Love Island, the whole point is you do PR shit. And there was a point where Jess and Dom got to a point where they were actually doing discount codes for mattresses. And that was in a process of 2 weeks. That's how bad it gets. And like it's pathetic.
I mean, money. If they're getting paid to stick an Instagram post up for a fucking mattress, I'm not buff. Like, I mean, I'm not going to look at it, but I'm not going to buy a mattress.
The thing is, no one gave a shit about them.
Yeah, but
no.
still making mad dollar because.
Were they?
Well, I
don't think they were really
We're
making
gonna
much money.
look
You know, maybe
They
like
literally. Did you hear about them trying to go to an opening of a takeaway shop?
no. I don't
You've
think
not
they did
heard this? Oh my god, they were going to go. To
I know that her and Dom were like trying to literally just get on anything they could to make any kind of money.
They were going to go to an opening of a takeaway shop. That is literally incredible.
Okay, so here's the statistics.
Well, that is a reveal of it.
Yeah, I think
whoa.
don't get strike for this. Olivia, please don't mark the point of view. Okay, so Olivia Atwood was getting paid £10,000 an hour for PA appearances after she got 10
Why?
grand
But why?
an hour,
Why?
folks.
Like, why?
£10,000.
Yeah, but she'll make the money in a year, and in a year she's gone.
Yeah, but that's why you can understand
And
they do
then-
it. Is because
and
they're
then
going to
at
stay
a
relevant.
point, she'll go on ITV. She'll go on I'm a Celebrity,
And-
get me out of
Yeah,
it.
she did
Yeah.
Little Women or something for
And
a
then
year.
all of a sudden, out of nowhere, then she's going on Celebrity Big Brother, and it's just
Amber.
stupid.
Amber Davis, believe it or not, the winner.
I don't understand how she makes less.
She was charging
That's
less,
strange.
5,000 compared to the
But to be
10,000.
fair, I do like her the most. I think she's the most like person.
I mean, Chris and Kim obviously brought out their song and stuff.
Oh
so.
my god, can we just take a moment for how shit it is?
Berk, what do you think about the song?
What do you mean? Why you ask? You're the one who likes it.
Yeah,
Don't try
oh.
A little bit, leave it.
Get on the mic.
Yeah, Berk, come on.
Do you want on the mic?
No, because he's the one who.
No,
likes
look how
it.
salty he is. He
He's
knows he
trying-
loves it. He's like, you like it, you like it.
Ladies and gentlemen can't see it, but he's going red right now.
He is. He's not happy. Come into the mic. The people can't hear you.
Did you like it or not?
Huh?
Did you like it or not?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay then, thank you.
So, what do you think, Berk?
I thought it was funny because he doesn't like it.
Yeah,
so
no,
he
bit like
Wait, hold
Tango.
on.
Because it's shit.
It is the shittest.
It's so.
It is an
annoying.
awful song. It's just funny, like.
To be fair, Big Shuck, that was shit.
Yeah, that's shit, but
I love
None
that.
of it, like, but it's just that's funny. That Chris and Ken one, the problem they did a whole series on it, and like,
Yeah,
oh my god, we're
ITV
gonna be the
series,
next,
wasn't it?
we're gonna be the
Yeah,
next
Ant and
big
Dec.
stars,
Yeah.
you know.
they went on like Radio 1 with like, who was it? Was it Charlie Sloth or something?
Probably.
And they were talking about how they're going to be rappers, and I was like, oh.
I was just like, fucking grow up.
Anyway, Jessica Shear's obviously Dom's partner on 5K.
Of course, Jessica Shear's in
Question.
JMX's YouTube videos before Love Island, so
Before Love Island.
yeah.
She was-
Have a look at Montana, just as a quick.
BU student, obviously.
Yeah, she was
Montana.
doing public regulation.
Oh, she's not on this article from the Sun. That means she must.
Johnny's in Celeb Big Brother.
Biggest snake.
Oh, is he? I haven't watched that.
Yeah, yeah, I haven't watched it,
What's
but
Muggy Mike getting? Oh, there he is. 3,000. 3,000
Yeah,
for Muggy Mike.
But I'm surprised. I thought he'd be charging like 10. That blows my mind that Olivia's charging the most, 10,000. I mean, these are obviously figures as soon as they come out.
I
But
mean, you think about it, Chris and Olivia are the most popular.
really,
are they still together?
Yep,
Or-
still together.
They are.
Cam and Amber have.
Yeah.
And then there was like rumours about Kem and what's her name? Scarlett Moffat.
Scarlett Moffat.
Oh yeah, the BFF.
Burke, do you want to speak about Scarlett Moffat?
Can I, from here, I love Scarlett. Okay, I really do.
Oh really?
I really do.
But yeah. I'm not
How
gonna
did we get
comment.
onto the topic of
I'm not going to comment about
a
it.
dead body
No.
in a YouTube video?
To Scarlett Moffat.
That's what podcasts are about, isn't it? You just
Mate, we've gone from here to like over there.
Let the conversation flow. Yeah, that's interesting. They're making that much money out of PA. That yeah, it's bum. But
But as I said, a
£10,000.
year and they'll be gone.
But that's why you can understand they make the most money, and that's why they're making or they're charging to post mattresses on their Instagram and what have you. I mean, if that was you, if you had 1 year to make the most money you possibly could through PAs, through PR, through any form of anything,
no.
you do the same.
But wouldn't you prefer to like
Make yourself.
make
You've
yourself?
got- you've
Yeah.
got to- listen, it could go one of two ways. You can either make your money and within a year you're gone, or you can build upon what you had.
Mm.
I mean, I know it says look what Camilla and
I literally,
what's
that's what I'm typing Camilla into.
like, she used it to get exposure for the charities and stuff like that. Whether it was like truth or not, if she's doing a fake persona. They're still together and they still do a lot of stuff. Like it's one of those things. Like you could either sell yourself out or build upon what you've already got.
She did do a public. They've done a public appearance like Edinburgh or something. I'm pretty sure they've done one.
But I mean, nothing like
Oh yeah, they're not doing it every other weekend.
not going to massive club nights. Getting
Yeah,
drunk.
and trying to.
I
Yeah,
think
try to live
that's
luxury.
the difference.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And if you
Kem's on Dancing on Ice.
He is on dance, so you can argue that he's making himself. He's trying to do the best he can.
Yeah, but that's him sending himself out.
It is. If you could go for every reality TV show at that point. They'd probably take. Most would take him.
It's an ITV show. I'll say no more. ITV.
Okay.
All they ever do is just use the celebrities. It's true. But who's applying for Love Island for this year?
It'd be interesting if we could. We should do each other's. That would actually be jokes. We should do each other's application for absolute shits and giggles.
Note, I can't.
Oh,
Yeah, true.
my man's got a girlfriend, but Laura wouldn't care. She'd be like, "That's okay, Aunt, do it." You could be.
You could go on Love Island.
Yeah, she'd be like.
I don't think she'll be okay with
She'd
that.
be like, "Listen, if you want to do it, Aunt, I'll do it."
I'll support anything you do, Anne.
She'd be like, "I'll be here watching, not judging."
She'll be watching every moment. Hi, Laura.
Ready to backstab you and be like, "Aunt, I can't believe you talked to that guy."
I wonder if she's watched this far.
I hope, yeah, I'm sure she has. Well, actually, no, we'll clip this part into the Facebook page so we get to, yeah. So
No.
so she will definitely see it. Yeah, so Camilla, I'm trying to get the price that she's been charging. I know she's only done one, so she might, but I imagine she'd be around the 5k mark as well, considering everybody else's.
She hasn't even got a price. Oh, well.
You can't put a price on love, ladies and gentlemen.
You can't.
That's it. That's
That's
what if that's what you want to learn from the point of view. It's
we've got about
56. We got about 4
4
minutes. I suppose we could probably. Ant, it's been a pleasure having you on. You got 4 minutes to plug the shit out of your
I
channel.
don't even know what to say.
Anything you want to plug while you've been on here?
Yeah, you can subscribe if you want. I don't really.
Give the channel name.
I want to say
We'll link it in the description.
Literally
of
just
this
search up Anthony Savva.
on
It's that
YouTube,
easy
and
now.
it's straight in.
Yeah. Apart from that, I've enjoyed being on anyway.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
We've enjoyed having
First-
you.
Hopefully I can return.
Definitely.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I've got so much stuff to talk about. I need to just sit here and just talk.
You need to come up with a
I
big-
might just talk when you guys go. Just sit here and go.
It's just you're doing like a second podcast, like a second
Yeah.
extra podcast.
No, but it's been fun, and yeah, if you got to check these guys out, because hopefully I'll publish it on my channel.
Yeah, get it up.
If I have time. I probably don't. I have exams, so.
Yeah, to us, that's why we've got tech editor over there, so we can revise and things.
Yeah, but you're paying him, so you should do it. The national minimum wage.
paying
One
him.
cheeseburger a week.
Yeah.
Might go up to a Big Mac if he's lucky.
Yeah.
If he's lucky.
If he gets
That's your Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
I think he's not happy about it.
He ain't happy, is he?
No.
He's
Happy
not
at
happy
all.
about it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been the point of view for the first episode. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you've watched for this long. I think next guest we're looking at. Well, we'll tease it on the Facebook page, but yeah, we've got a few people lined up.
We're going international. We're going for an American.
Man's international now, isn't it?
Yeah, international. We're going with fat stacks here at the point of view. It's been good. Ant, thank you very much
Thank
for
you very
coming on,
much.
big man. It's been brilliant. Stud, sign us out.
Thank you for listening to the first Point of View podcast, and we'll see you next time, guys.
That sounded